Want to know how to create awesome videos? Check out motionarray.com. You can do it too. Titles easy, intros easy, kittens, bridges, glitches so easy. Heartbeats, lightning.
We're going to cover how to use OBS Studio step by step in this complete tutorial for beginners. Hey, it's Justin Brown here from Primal Video, where we help you grow an audience and scale your revenue with include and use in our live streams. And the next one across here is your scenes panel. Now this is essentially we can have groups of assets or different configurations for the bottom here, we've got our controls. This is where we can start streaming, start recording. We can switch between this preview mode and studio mode. So if I press on this now, you can see that we have our program monitor, which is what we're pushing out. This is exactly the same as what you were seeing before, but now we've actually got a preview as well. Now it's a little confusing because the other one's called preview mode and this is the preview here. But essentially we can queue things up on this side, and then when we press this transition button, then it will actually send it live. So if you're gonna be moving graphics and those sorts of things around and you wanna not be doing it while you're live, or the viewers aren't watching what you're doing while you're live, then you can use this mode, studio mode, to have that ability. For me personally, if I don't need that while I'm live, I'm gonna go back to the regular mode with just the one big preview window. But this is something you can switch between while you're live. The next one down here is the settings button. This will bring up all of the settings for OBS. Now we will jump back into this one very shortly. Exit, it's pretty obvious, it's gonna exit the app. Down the bottom here is pretty cool that you can actually see your CPU usage. So you can see if your computer is under load and you're potentially dropping frames or having a bad live stream if your computer is under too much stress. So you can see all of that at a glance down the bottom here. You can also easily see how long you've been live for or how long your recording has been going for as well. The next panel along is your transition panel. This is where we can adjust the different types of transitions we have between the different scenes. We'll get to scenes in a minute, but know that you can adjust your transitions here, or if we're back on that studio mode, your transitions are also in the middle here as well. Let's get back to preview mode. The next one across here is your audio mixer. This is where you can easily see and adjust your volume levels for each of the different elements you're going to have in your live stream, or each of the different sources you're going to have in your live stream. And next to that, we've actually got our sources. This is where we can add in all of our webcams, images, videos, websites, or anything we want to actually include and use in our live streams. And the next one across here is your scenes panel. Now this is essentially we can have groups of assets or different configurations for different elements or different sections of your live streams. So you might have a scene set up for just a full screen image of you on screen. The next scene might be your computer screen that you're sharing. And you might have another scene for you with some text on screen. And as like almost every program out there, you've also got your standard menus and options and stuff across the top here as well. So that's the overall interface. Let's jump into getting OBS set up. So come down the bottom here to settings. Now a lot of the settings in here are going to be personal preference and also going to come down to the type of live stream platform. Now I'll link this page down in the resources below, but this is where YouTube suggests which bit rates you should be looking at for the different resolutions. So this page tells us if we want to broadcast live to YouTube at 720p, the video bitrate range should be between 1,500 and 4,000 kilobits per second. If we're doing a 1080p stream, that needs to be 3,000 to 6,000 kilobits per second. Now we can go above, but you really don't want to be going below these numbers for a decent looking, reliable stream. So in this case here, we're gonna be doing a 1080p live stream through to YouTube. So I'm gonna set this to 5,000 kilobits per second because I know my internet speed is good enough. So that's the video quality. We can also make changes to the audio quality here as well. Now I would recommend that you're not going less than 128. The default here was 160. That's gonna give you pretty good results. 192 right up to 320 will give you higher quality audio. So if you're gonna be broadcasting live with music and those sorts of things and you wanna have the highest quality through, then you're gonna wanna pick a higher quality bitrate for your audio as well. Personally, I think anything from 160 to 256 is going to give you great results. But if you're only just speaking in your live stream, then you'll be able to get away with 160. So those are your live streaming settings. If you do want to also be recording, or you just want to use OBS for recording, then that's where your settings down here. You can key all of those in. The main ones being your recording format. You can see the default here is MKV. You might want to switch it to an MP4 or an MOV file. And then you'll also want to adjust your recording quality. Because in a lot of cases, you want to actually record a higher quality video than the one that you're streaming out. So higher than 5,000 kilobits per second in this case. So we could choose a high quality medium file size, or one of the other options in here as well. Now this next area here, audio, is where obviously we get to dive into some audio settings. Now there's really only a couple in here that you need to look at. The rest are going to be fine by default. The first one is your channels. By default, you want to have this set to stereo unless you specifically need to be broadcasting in mono or surround sound. Now our OBS resolution is at 1920 by 1080, which is if you just want to bring in a specific application window, or if you want to bring in a whole computer screen, then
if you're a content creator of any kind, you need to start using Artlist for your videos. I'm Ryan, filmmaker.
either a window capture if you just want to bring in a specific application window, or if you want to bring in a whole computer screen, then you can choose display capture. And this is where if you've got a second screen connected to your computer, this is a great way to do it. So that's what I've got in this case, display capture. And let's call this second monitor. Okay, let's default it to the primary one here, the main one, but we can just change display to be the other input, number one. We also get to specify if you want to have the mouse cursor shown on that screen as well. So if we go over to that screen now, you might be able to see it. My mouse cursor is moving around on there.
you.